My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video. Yo, what's crackalackin', my brothers and sisters? Hope you guys is having a great day today. As you can see, this is another Better Late Than Never series installment to where a brother reviews older titles that I never got around to playing, and I just started playing them recently, so I want to do a little review for it. But it's like many little like rapid fire reviews for older titles that I'm just beating. As you can see, Resident Evil 4 is the game of the day. Game of the video, if you will. And yeah, I've always heard about this game and how great it is and how it's one of the best games of all time and the best Resident Evil ever made. I actually picked up this game a few years back and I dropped it. Not really because it was like bad, it was just like, you know, I was playing like different games at the time and I'm like, I'll return to this game later. And then just recently came back to it for the month of October, and I just recently beat the game. Resident Evil 4, I finally played the game. Here's what I think about it. First off, this being labeled the best Resident Evil game ever made. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you actually kidding me? There is no way that this is the best Resident Evil game ever made. Tank controls, horrible freaking camera angles. Might be one of the least interesting Resident Evil stories that I've played. Now, I don't want to be too harsh because I realize when it, you know, playing this game when it had originally came out like in what, 04 or 05 or something like that, of course it will probably hit different versus playing it in 2021. This game is in definite need of a remake. At the same time though, I have played other games to where I feel like they aged worse than this game, even though this game does have tank controls and bad camera angles, and you know, it definitely takes a while to get used to the gameplay. At the same time, I did kind of, I don't know, it has this classic feel to it that I was starting to like as I played more of the game. But yeah, when Capcom does inevitably do this RE4 remake, because I did think they say that they are doing it, this game will definitely benefit from that. I will definitely say that. Again, going back to the story, bro, this was one of the least interesting stories for me from a story standpoint, from a character standpoint. We all know, again, the voice acting in Resident Evil is not that great, but in this one, it's just like, can y'all even like try to sound like you're trying to put on a performance? This version of Leon that was in RE4, not a fan. The enemy in this game, not one of my favorites. You know, RE5 kind of has something similar to where you weren't really fighting zombies. It was like humans that were kind of being like mind controlled, whatever. And that's in RE4 as well. It's alright. You know, but again, I feel like RE5 did it better. They had a lot of villains in this game that was kind of more like, okay, they're kind of funny more so than scary. Like it just kind of, and then again, you can make the case, now this might be a hot take, RE4 was kind of the beginning of Resident Evil's downfall.
You didn't say that. Tell me you did not just say that.
Resident Evil 4 was kind of the beginning of this series starting to kind of get away from the horror aspect and lean more towards action. Because Resident Evil 4 doesn't really have like a lot of horror in it. Like, this game isn't really like a scary game to play. And again, I know when this game came out, like a lot of people felt like this game like took the series to like the next level and stuff like that. But I feel like RE4 going towards like 6 was when Resident Evil started to become more action-like, more so than horror. Even the environment that you're in isn't really scary. I wasn't really a big fan of like the setting in this game. It just didn't, you know, feel Resident Evil to me. The biggest, probably most useless, and y'all, so if you played this game when this game first came out, I need y'all to be real with me. How was she received? Ashley in Resident Evil 4.
Don't just stand there! Help me! Leon! 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 Help me, Leon!
Why don't you just fucking die already?
This chick almost drove me insane. How? Who came up with that character? That has to be, I don't know if this was intentional, that has to be one of the most annoying freaking side escort-like characters that has ever been created for a video game. She is useless. She is literally a damsel in distress. She does nothing but annoy you and scream, "Leon! Leon, help me!" That was her purpose, just to be there and get taken away for Leon to once again save the day and save her. One of the most annoying characters I have ever seen. I think it's going to be really interesting to see when they do the RE4 remake. How are they going to have Ashley? Are they going to have her be like the exact same character? Or are they going to kind of like modernize her and make her this like strong female character that doesn't need Leon anymore? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, in this game, please tell me if you played this game when it first came out, how was Ashley received? Because I thought she was one of the most annoying parts of this game, and she was like in almost every part of this game. But yeah, I mean, all in all, after playing Resident Evil 4 and beating this game for my first time ever, I just do not see how people think this is the best Resident Evil game ever. I don't see why this is looked at as like a classic game. I personally thought it was one of the weaker ones. I didn't really enjoy the gameplay as much. I personally think 5 is better than 4. I just don't see, even going back in 04, 05, maybe gameplay wise with, you know, like the quick time events that they had in this game, maybe that's why some people thought it was like a, you know, something fresh and like a new fresh action take on Resident Evil, whatever. Maybe from a gameplay standpoint, but even then, like, I feel like this is one of the more overrated Resident Evil series. This junk ain't even close to being the best Resident Evil ever. Are you kidding me? Like I said, as I was playing the game, it did have like this classic feel about it that I did kind of fall in love with. So it's not like everything about this game I didn't like. I'm giving Resident Evil 4 a 6.5. I did enjoy some parts of it, but, you know, and another thing, I felt like this game kind of dragged on. This was kind of, I think I was like at like 20-something hours once I beat this game. This is one of the longer Resident Evil games. I'm like used to these games being like, you know, 10, maybe max 12 hours. This was like 20 plus hours, you know, of me playing. I'm like, this game is not that good to be going on for this long. And yeah, I just feel like this game was really overrated, even back in, you know, going back years ago. Let me know if I'm crazy. Leave your thoughts and comments if you guys remember playing this game for the first time years back. You know, how do people feel about it, stuff like that. Till next video, my brothers and sisters, I will catch y'all boys in my next one. All right.